Hi everyone, welcome back to Anomaly Workshop. In this opportunity, we welcome you to our first Q&A with questions you've been asking throughout the weeks and ones we've collected along the years. As we've mentioned before, we've had this story for around 4 years, and before starting to post here on YouTube, I used to post ROCs on my Instagram. I mean, I do every now and then, but not as much as before. And followers and friends started getting interested in their designs, the stories, and personalities. So we thought we could take those questions into consideration as well, now that we have this channel. So without much else to say, let's bring in the first question. Are trailers connected to a storyline? They are, in fact. The idea of the trailers was showing different sceneries and locations of the universe, as well as using metaphors or singled out situations to showcase a problematic or theme inside the story. For example, Core shows different atmospheres and settings, while I'm Sorry reviewed a situation regarding an Energy Master and a letter they received after being wrongfully incarcerated, demonstrating how little regard or lack of fairness there is when it comes to Energy Masters. All of the topics or scenery portrayed in the trailers will make an appearance in different tapes or future animations.
How did you come up with the name Anomalía?
Oh, it's been quite a while, so let's see how much we remember. We wanted to come up with a short title, which was difficult as we wanted it to encapsulate the entirety of this universe with all its different and contrasting stories.
We look for words like anomaly, oddity, outcast, misfit, and alike, and tried combining them with other words to make up a title.
We really liked the word oddity, but it just wasn't hitting. Like, it wasn't doing what we wanted it to do. And the word anomaly was already circulating around the story because we wanted it to mean something related to Energy Masters, but we weren't considering it a title yet. Somehow, one day, we decided we liked it for the title, and as Spanish is our native language, we thought it would be meaningful to write it like that. So that's how the title Anomalía was born.
What inspired you to make your characters and story? What inspired us the most was the love and even need for creating that we both had. Rin and I had been drawing and creating since we were kids, and this hobby has accompanied us through life and tough moments. So the older we got, the more we realized how much joy we found in creating characters and bringing them to life, giving them an identity and a voice, a past and a future.
We always loved to make our characters feel as alive as possible, and funny enough, we've been told it sounds as if we were talking about real people when speaking of them. So it seems that's something that comes naturally to us. Because of this, we've been wanting to create a story and characters together for a while. We even had created fan-made content and OCs of the media we consumed back then, and it was something so recurrent that we began straying away from the original content we were making these OCs from.
There we realized two things. Firstly, we're a very good creative team, and secondly, it was time to create something of our own. Anomalía has a little bit of everything we've enjoyed as we grew. Some examples are Five Nights at Freddy's, Resident Evil, different books, series, anime even, as well as media that inspired us to expand the universe as we created it, such as the ones you've seen in the intro. We also wanted to represent struggles that both people and ourselves go through, and portray them in our character stories. We really enjoy analyzing the psychological side of things, so we wanted to make ROCs to feel realistic and multidimensional, to understand their thoughts, feelings, and actions, and make everything have an underlying meaning and purpose. We're constantly getting inspiration from multiple things, whether it's media we consume, experiences, or knowledge we acquire.
Another thing that makes that inspiration meaningful is all the support we get from our friends and you guys that like what we do.
Is the character in the Daily Occurrences trailer an OC?
Many people thought that character was Leiex, this one right here, Ian's drew this by the way, who is an OC and we have shown them on my Instagram before. And truth be told, they do look identical, but the reason for this is they both belong to the same species, which we're working on a name for. All of them share similar characteristics. They possess slippery skin that helps them swim and hard sections of scales on certain parts of their body like their shoulders or forearms. They also have a tail similar to a crocodile's, as well as claws and membranes between each finger to move easily in water. As they're semi-aquatic creatures, they naturally need water or high humidity to survive, possessing gills to breathe underwater and can't be in dry spaces for a long period of time. This is why there's a small amount of this species in the big cities, and why their discrimination is a common occurrence, mostly due to their appearance and different needs other species or humans don't have. Talking specifically about Nereus, they will have their own lore breakdown in a future video. We're just teasing you right now.
What exactly is a card? A card, as we said in its own video, isn't a physical object. Like, it's not a playing card, but the way people call a portion of their energy. Picture this. Every person in this universe has energy in their body. Some have stronger energy, these being energy masters, and others have weaker energy, but everyone is born with it. Just like you would with a soul or a brain.
In some people, that energy stays untouched, but in others, a part of it gets transformed into what society calls a card. This card has its own name and comes with a power. When the creators receive the cards of deceased energy masters, they see them as an actual card, like we showed in the beginning of the universe illustration, where we actually drew the back of it as if it was a playing card. As a matter of fact, the design kind of came out of nowhere. It started as a scribble, and it wasn't meant to have a meaning, but it ended up making a lot of sense. In the center of the card you have a heart, and something coming out of it, sort of like a flower, which represents energy. That's then being received by the two little hands at the top. The design's symbolism is related to the constant exchange of energy that happens between the creators and earthly beings, illustrated by the heart itself.
What is the story behind Leiex's disappearance?
The story deserves its own video, but for now, as you saw in the trailer reel, this person went missing under strange circumstances. This is one of many unsolved disappearances that take part in a bigger, more complex case. The person that took the flyer may or may not have been involved in this, but it is certain she thinks that paper has no use anymore. We have a very cool idea to tell this story in the future, so look forward to that. What do the papers stuck in "I just wanted a cab" mean? In the main cities, it's common to find papers stuck to phone booth walls. These are messages people leave for others in anonymous ways, as most of them relate to illegal or immoral activities in hopes it finds the right receiver. Other times, employers put up signs to attract possible employees, knowing these places are usually frequented by energy masters and other oppressed groups who prefer looking for jobs this way, even if it means the possibility of getting scammed or even exposed.
Phone booths act as communication channels, not only because of the phone itself, but because of the different messages exchanged or posted daily. People looking for a one-night stand, exposing lies or beliefs they have about someone or a certain group, it all ends up written down and stuck to the walls. You could even say these public boxes constitute a big part of the city's culture, as everyone has at least once entered a phone booth and caught a glimpse of the various deals and exchanges happening in there.
I think those are all the questions we had for today. Thank you so much for your interest in the project. It really means a lot to us, and it was fun to think back on things we haven't thought of in a while, like the reason we started creating or where the title came from. It was a good reminder of why we do what we do. Hopefully the doodles on screen helped understand some of the concepts we mentioned, but all of these topics will be brought up again in different tapes and backstories, so you'll hear about them in context and with specific examples, which will solidify the ideas even more. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next week. Bye bye!